Hello everyone, Reno Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video we are doing another Kaiju number 8 deck profile. In the previous video we did do a yellow deck profile, and we are doing our second yellow deck profile going over the Kikoru. She is so cute. I love her hairstyle in the show, and she's really cool and has a cool backstory. Like, I've not seen all of the show, I've been somewhat paying attention to it, but I am really excited to go through this deck because I do think that all these decks in the set are very strong. And just in case you didn't get it from the last video, please go watch that video. But you know, you only get 2 colors in the Kaiju number 8 set. It is coming out on October 31st. If you have a local game store, they should be doing a pre-release event for it, so you can get it a week early. But this is a new thing in the card game where we're only getting 2 colors in the set, and with that, I think it is a positive. I know a lot of people could see it as a negative, but I think it is a positive because it means they can flesh out these decks to be very customizable in the cards that you want to play, and different archetypes that you can, you know, meld together to just really promote really unique deck building, right? And I do think that you can do this with this colors. You can take any combination of the characters that you like, put them in a deck together, and it will probably work out. But I am trying to give y'all a more solid list. I do think that the Mina deck that I talked about beforehand is super strong, and I do think that the Kikoru that we're going to touch on next is a close second in this particular set as being a crazy strong deck. But let's get into why, right? 4 of our final triggers. This is the same final trigger for the yellow color, and then another special. One thing to note about this special is that it only costs 3. Squadron Style Axe Technique #1 Falling Thunder. Her weapon is so cool. It's a special trigger in life. Obviously, it says choose up to 1 character with 2 less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it if Kikoru is on your field 4,000 BP or less. And additionally, if a character with 3 required energy is on your field, 5,000 or less BP instead. So a little bit more that you have to do to get to the 5K, but at the end of the day, it being a 3 energy for a 4K in most cases, I think is good enough, and that will lead to, you know, some cases later on in a particular game when you're moving up trying to finish the game, you don't want to ruin your energy too much, or maybe you can't move up and then also play your special. This being a 3 energy special is really important for turns like that. And don't forget that, because it can come up later where you're like, all right, I only need 3 for my special as opposed to the other deck needing 4. I can move up everything, do what I need to do, play my special, only need 3 energy, and I think that that is a big benefit for why it takes you a little bit harder to get to the 5. But for that, we're going to do what we did, same thing in the last video. I'm going to go through and do all the Kikurus, and then I'll go up and touch on the sub package that we are running in the decks, because I do think that these 2 ladies are kind of the main ones you should be building around. Now, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, it's very customizable, and you can just take your favorite characters and build them together, but I do think focusing a deck around her is a good way to go. So Kikoru Shinomiya, she is a 4 energy, 1 action point, 4,000 plus BP, which is interesting to see on a 4 drop, so we know we're getting a boost somewhere. 1 energy generator. She can raid on Kikoru Raid in life. This character gains all abilities listed below if you have the required number of characters with 3 required energy on the same line. Really interesting, right? So you can tell we're trying to just play 3 required energy, specifically 3. It can't be 3 or less or anything like that. It has to be 3, but you can manage it in this deck because there's plenty of really good 3 cards. If you have 1 or more, impact 1, essentially she's always gonna have this effect in here because you're always gonna usually have a 3 card. That might not be the case, but regardless, she's still 4K body. But 1 or more, impact. 2 or more, when attacking, draw up to 1 card. 3 or more, this character gains 1,000 BP. When attacking, choose up to 1 character field. It gains 500 BP until the end of the turn, right? So this, when attacking, I think that they situated this really weird, right? Because I think that this is, you can do this effect separate from this effect here, because I think these these are denoting that this is part of this front effect if you have these amount of characters, whereas the when attacking is on a once per turn and is not tied to this. So you always get the when attacking to choose up to 1 character in your field, and it gains 500 BP until the end of the turn. And then if you have the required number of characters, 3 required energy in the same line, you can further get all these other cards. And this is a lot of value on the card that's only costing you 4 energy. And you can see that this set is insane with how much value and how many card text you get on a particular card. With Kenshin in this set, I think you can definitely see the power creep in the game where these cards just do more and more. You know, 4 energy, and just think to like Hunter x Hunter. I know I keep bringing that up because it's my favorite anime. It's my favorite set. We got it first, which is made me very, very happy. But now looking back on it, I'm a little upset because those cards are power creep, right? Like the Gone comes down, just boost something 1,000. When attacking, boost something down, when play. Like that's very, very generic. Very powerful, but look at a card like this and look at all the text we get now, right? So the game is definitely going forward, and I think it needs to, right? No one wants to be stale, but these cards are getting very, very powerful for the value that we're used to getting. Like this could have been back in the day a 7-drop, and we would have been happy with it. She's a 4-drop, makes it even better. This deck is very low to the ground, very, very aggro. And I think we'll kind of steal the spot of some other premier yellow aggro decks. But going down the line, we are running 4 of the color trigger Kikoru Shinomiya. 3 energy, 1 action point. I like this art style for her. 3,000 BP, 3,500 BP, sorry. 1 energy generator. And she says, when played, if it's your turn and this character is played with one of your character or event card abilities, choose it to one of your AP cards and switch it to active. So if you play her with a character or the event or site, then you get the AP back. So this is how you rush people down. This card is very, very important because this wants to be the last card you play for the turn, so that way she can come out and give you the AP back, and it's gonna be really, really good to kind of like further. She's your extender. Kind of treat her almost like a final trigger in your hand because she just extends your plays because she is really, really good. And it's a little upsetting that they made her the color trigger because you would really prefer this card probably be the get trigger because you want to see this, but it makes a little sense. Maybe the deck could have been too consistent if you always got to see her in your hand from life, but that's okay. 3 energy, 3,500 BP with a free, it's like a free card, which is really good. And you can boost her with the other one, right? So it's really going to be in most cases a 4K body that you're throwing on the board to attack with that you get to play for free. Now, we are also running 4 of the 2 energy, 1 action point Kikoru, 3,000 plus BP, so we know we're getting a boost. 1 energy generator. This is a draw trigger in life, so you won't be able to grab this one or the other one, so you're really going to have to hard draw these cards, which can maybe see some issue later on. But she said this card is also treated as if it is required energy is 3 while on your field. So this is kind of how you get around the needing to be 3 energy thing, right? So she is immediately a 3 and only costs you 2. And then during your turn, if another character with 3 required energies on the same line, she gains 500 BP. Being that she'll be a 35, you can boost her with the raid one and then also go up to 4K. So you can see how we're able to put a lot of 4K bodies that are low drops on the board very, very fast and have to force your opponent to block out, right? And then you don't really care too much about, needing a ton of energy on your line because you will be able to refresh it later on in the game. And then obviously just 4 of the 0 drop. Get trigger in live, 1500 BP, 1 energy generator, Kikoru, no effect on there. Right, so that is all the Kikorus. You can kind of see she's a low to the ground, kind of aggro, get some value later on in the game because the more and more characters you have, if they don't clear this body, the more powerful she gets going through a fight, getting stronger, getting that impact, getting that when attacking to draw a card, going up to 5K, boosting someone up another 500. This card is very powerful and really, really strong. But let's go through the cards that are supporting her, right? And I want to touch on Reno again because this is such a good card. I think that this character not having a trigger is a little suspect, but I do think that having it at a 4 of is really important because it is a really strong 3 energy card, and that matters a lot in this deck, and I think that that is a good enough trade-off to make us go down in our triggers. I could be wrong about this one. Maybe I should switch it out for something else, but I think that this card's too important because it is really strong. It's a 3 energy, 1 action point, 3,500 plus BP, so we're getting a boost. 1 energy generator. It says during your turn, it gains 500. It's literally just a 3 drop. That's 4K during your turn, which is really good. And it says when attacking, choose up to 1 other character with 3 required energy on the same line, and it also gains another 500. So you can see here, sometimes you're able just to push up and have 3 4,500 bodies to attack with, which is going to mean your opponent can't trade out so easily with you. And this is such a strong card, and I think that it is essential in the deck. With that being said, we're also running 4 of the Raid Reno, 3 energy, 1 action point. Very important that he's a 3 energy card. 3,500 plus BP. It's a raid in life, which is so strong for a 3 drop. That's so good that it's a raid. 1 energy generator. During your turn, if another character with 3 required energies on the same line, it gains 500 BP. So it's a 3 drop, 4,000 BP. You can boost it up even further than that. So it's gonna be a 3 drop, in some cases 5K body, which is insane. And it says when played, Play up to 1 yellow character with 3 or less required energy and 1 AP cost from your hand. Set the resting onto your field. So you play him out when he gets played. He lets you play her when she's played. If it's your turn, this character's played with one of your characters, which is going to be him. Choose up one of your AB cards and switch it to active. Really, really strong. It's going to be like he turns in, so you raid him, he turns her out, and then she gets the action point back, and you still have 1 action point to raid the Kikoru on top of this card, which is kind of going to be the main combo you do in the deck, where you're able to really press up the state of the board, and that means you're going to have, you know, a lot of swings coming in. But with that being said, 4 of the 1-drop Reno as well. It says when played, draw 1, then trash 1, which is really good. Draw trigger in life, 2000 BP, 1 energy, 1 action point. Really good card. I think that he's needed a 4 of. And then obviously 4 of the 0-drop Reno, 2000 BP, 1 energy generator, draw trigger in life. I really like the Reno package. I think it supports both of the yellow decks really, really well. I think that this 3-drop in this deck is really strong because it lets you do some really cool things. Now, so what else is supporting us through here? Well, I am just deciding to throw in 3 different other characters that I think are really good. 3 drops. This one is just another when played, draw 1, trash 1, active trigger in life, 0 energy, 1 action point, 1500 BP. This card is just good for helping you cycle through the deck to see the pieces that you need. And in a lot of cases, you don't mind getting another trigger since we are down to 42 since we are running 4 of this Reno. The other 3 drops that we're running, I think this one is really important too, is Kafka. 3 energy, 1 action point, 3000 BP. This is your double energy generator, so it makes it really easy for you to get him down and not have to worry about, you know, messing up your energy too much. But one thing to note, where this deck is so low to the ground, he is your only double energy generator, so you want to be very careful with this card to not trash it early. Keep it in your hand so you can make sure you do, you know, are able to kind of do your plays a little bit easier. But he is when played, if it's your turn, you may pay 1 AP. If you do draw a card, then you may play up to 1 yellow character with 3 or less required energy at 1 AP cost from your hand. Set the resting onto your field, right? So you play him, you pay another AP to draw a card, and then also get to play the Kikoru, which then will let you get that AP back. So you do have to have the initial 2 AP to pay into the Kafka, but then it's really only being a 1 AP play because she lets you get it back, being that you're getting 2 bodies down in a draw from, you know, essentially 1 action point that you'll get refunded back. And I think that this combo is too powerful not to also play in the deck. Like, so you're trying to rush your opponent down as quickly as possible, and this is just another way to play down a 3-drop character, getting you some value and bodies on the board. I think only 3 of the Iharu. I do like this card a lot. It does have a lot more effects, and it does have a trigger. Maybe you could do some 3-3 split with the Kafka and then go up on something else, but I do like this guy. He is pretty good too. 3 energy, 1 action point, 3500 plus 3500 BP, 1 energy generator, active trigger in life, and he says when played, choose up to 1 other character on your field. It gains 500 BP until the end of the turn. If this character is played with one of your other character site or event card abilities, switch it to active. So you can play him off of the Reno or the Kafka, and then you just get to put him as active and also boost someone else up. So this card is really, really strong. Maybe put it at a 4-up. I don't know. I just feel like he's a value that gets, you know, these cards get value. These 2 get value from being played from other cards, right? So I'd rather max out on the cards that help you play them out easier, so then that way you can, you know, get value from them. So I think you need a little bit less of them. You know, maybe I should be at a 4 of. It is colored, or 4 of, with this one being the color and then this being active. I'm not sure. I'll have to test it out, but that's the ratios I'm going with at the moment. I do foresee this deck being really strong. A lot of people love her. I know a lot of people love Kikoru. She is, you know, obviously super cute, really cool in the show, has a good backstory, but this is going to be a really strong deck too, and Kaiju number 8 is looking like a very powerful set. If you are sleeping on this set, please don't. It's going to come back and absolutely, you smash your face in. This deck is low to the ground, really, really consistent, and I think it is a little bit better than some of the other decks that require like a name. I don't think it's as aggro as Kirito and Asuna. That deck is a little bit harder to pilot with needing the names. This one is a little bit easier to pilot because you just need a character card that's 3 required energy, right? Not name specific. You don't need to do anything crazy, and it is just, you know, have 3 energy, get the value, and that makes it a little bit easier to play, a little bit more consistent. And I do think that, you know, the longer the game goes on, this Kikoru having the kind of scaling effect on her does also help you out as well. But I do foresee this deck doing really, really well. I hope that this deck profile is something that you can take, customize it to your liking. I probably will be doing that the same too. I doubt most of my decks don't ever kind of, like, some of them are exactly how I build them and some I do change around. The only one I'm kind of thinking about is the Inaru, and then maybe if I could go down on 0 draws, which sounds a little risky. But please let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Let me know what kaiju deck you're most excited to see. In the next videos, we will be touching up on green. Make sure you check out the other yellow deck profile that's going to be on the channel after this one. But I appreciate all y'all hanging out with me today. Peace.